This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MyLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy. He's here.
Welcome to the Barbados Today Evening Update for Tuesday, May 19th. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. We begin with news that the autopsy being conducted on the body of 12-year-old Shamar Weekes came to a halt at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital this morning. The Coleridge and Parry student died last Thursday from an apparent suicide at his Friars Well home in St. Lucie. However, it is not clear why the procedure was stopped. Shamar's mother, Julianne, was present for today's autopsy at the hospital. In other news, Education Minister Ronald Jones is fully against corporal punishment in schools. Addressing a workshop of principals and deputy principals on restorative practices this morning, Minister Jones made it clear that the practice was doing more harm than good.
There are persons who keep telling me that we must beat. We call it nicely corporal punishment. Minister, when the Education Act is amended, please ensure that people still have the right to beat. And I keep saying no, because I have not seen any change in behavior by beating up on anybody. Never seen it. You have a suppression of the behavior for a time, but there's a development of a lot of anger in many of our young people as a result of that brutality, believe it or not. And sometimes they're acting out on others who are not as strong as they are, either in their minds or in their bodies. So we have to seriously sit down and discuss and put into practice. We might not necessarily find the elixir to bring about the changes that we want.
An abundance of mosquitoes forced the early closure of the St. George Secondary School today. The school, which was dismissed just after 1 this afternoon, will remain closed tomorrow to facilitate fogging on the grounds. The decision was taken after officials from the Ministry of Health visited the institution following concerns raised by staff and students. According to reports, the mosquitoes, which spread the painful dengue virus as well as chikungunya, will be harbored in an unused room. The school is scheduled to reopen on Thursday. Member of Parliament for St. Lucie, Dennis Kelman, is looking to clean up the blocks in his constituency by taking youngsters off the streets and getting their hands dirty. Addressing a branch meeting recently at his constituency office in Pike Corner, Kelman revealed that he had given the Rural Development Commission the responsibility of leasing land from small farmers so that young people can use. The St. Lucie MP, who is also the Minister of Housing, Lands and Rural Development, disclosed that there were already 20 acres in the pool, 10 from a private individual and the other 10 from the Barbados Agricultural Development and Marketing Corporation. The Acting Police Commissioner, Tyrone Griffith, says he has resumed issuing licenses for sport shooters. Griffith made the announcement when he reappeared in court this morning to answer to a claim of contempt of court filed against him by the shooters. But the group's lawyer, Wilfred Abrams, says despite the decision, his clients will be pursuing the substantive matter in court.
Following the affidavit, I will take full instructions. If necessary, we will respond. The matter has been set down for the 8th of June for disposal one way or the other. What I can confirm, though, is that from the affidavit, and the Commissioner has said that they've resumed the licensing. So the initial complaint that we had in relation to disobeying the court order, well, has been purged. So although the Commissioner has started, but yes, if there was a contempt, or if the court finds that there was a contempt, or the circumstances point to the fact that there was a contempt, that contempt has been purged. But you still need answers as to why the refusal was done in the first place and why it continued even after an order from the court.
The Garfield Sobers Complex is in line to get a multi-million-dollar facelift at no cost to the government. Today, Sports Minister Stephen Lashley signed the design contract with representatives of the China Northeast Architectural Design and Research Institute. The $19 million project is being funded by the People's Republic of China. Renovations will get started in the second quarter of next year.
Because of the nature of the work, and of course we'll have to make other announcements in terms of how we will manage this transition. Because of the nature of the work that has to be done, the significant work, the gymnasium will have to be closed for approximately 14 months, which means that we will have to manage the transition in terms of the use of the gymnasium by especially the sporting organizations. It is a long time, but of course, this is work that has to be done.
Minister Lashley admits the closure will pose some challenges for sporting organizations and other groups which use the multi-purpose facility, but he says arrangements are being put in place.
We are cognizant of the challenges, but I'm also confident that we cannot allow the gymnasium to remain in the current state, because then we will have further complaints. So there's going to be a period of sacrifice, I would put it that way, but necessary sacrifice. And as far as physically possible, the Sports Council, acting in concert with the gymnasium, will work very closely with the federations to ensure that the period of time does not overly deprive them of the kind of training that is necessary.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Farley Hill, Crane Beach, fried chicken at Pug's Bar. All parts of Barbadian life that some might know, but others don't. So join me, Katrina Marshall, as I go about town and across country, peeking into tucked away districts and liming with the people who bring them to life. About town and across country, coming soon to Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional happenings now, Jamaicans are being urged to take the necessary precaution against another mosquito-borne disease. It's called Zika. And according to the country's Ministry of Health, Brazil is currently battling with an outbreak of the virus, and they fear that it could spread to Kingston. The virus is spread by the Aedes aegypti mosquito, which also transmits dengue and chikungunya and carries similar symptoms. If infected, the symptoms can last for 4 to 7 days. And finally, a suicide bomber today killed at least 7 people outside a livestock market in northeast Nigeria. No one has yet claimed responsibility for the act. It is the second suicide attack in Nigeria in less than a week. On Saturday, at least 9 people were killed when a woman blew herself up at a bus station. And on that note, we come to the end of our evening updates, but we will be back again tomorrow morning. Until then, remember, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, our email updates, and like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. We're also on Channel 101 online TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Have a fantastic evening.
This news update is brought to you by...
So, I'm meeting Rico later. Gotta check in with the girls, but first, let me check my usage on the MindLime app. Now, what should I wear? Hashtag sexy.